Did you know that the cause of health issues with so many dogs is their food? That was so astounding for me to find out because I tend to think my dog Mojo eats pretty well until I really researched the ingredients. And actress Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more health issues with dogs than ever before. So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. It's called Superfood Complete. Superfood Complete is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including several superfoods vital to your dog's health. I actually love giving Mojo this as a topper. It's like an extra treat for him. And I feel good that there are no fillers and it's air dried, so it retains more nutrients. Dogs across America are trying this food and experiencing amazing health benefits, and so can your fur baby. Go to Badlands Ranch/Dateable and order right now to get up to 50% off your regular price order with a 90-day money-back guarantee. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible things, go to BADLANDS ranch.com/DATEABLE today. Hi, I'm Yue Xu.
And I'm Julie Krafchick.
We're active daters turned dating sociologists.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to the Dateable Podcast. Oh, hey, you're back for another episode of Brunch Talk because you want us to dissect your burning dating questions, and we are happy to do so.
And we have a really good one today. One that we get on our plate quite a bit. Like the little...
We don't play favorites, though. They're all good. They're all equally good.
They are.
But this one we've heard many of you ask over and over again. How do I get over being friend-zoned?
And for more context, I have a huge crush on one of my guy friends, and I told him about it. He said he only likes me as a friend. A new girl recently entered our friend group, and now they're hooking up. I was incredibly hurt and told my guy friend I wanted a no contact period. Any advice on how to maintain this period without slipping? How long should it last? I've been really struggling as I want to talk to him.
Oh, this is why it's so hard to mix friendship with feelings. Once you've been friend zoned, like when someone tells you they don't see you as anything more than a friend, it's a little harder to get out of the friend zone because they've already established that's a boundary they're establishing. And as a friend, you should be able to respect that boundary. So I think in this situation, you have to kind of respectfully remove yourself out of any future situations that could hurt you. And that would be hanging out with him and his new girl or any other girl that he comes in contact with. There's nothing that you can do to avoid the situation from happening.
Right. He didn't do anything wrong by being with a new person either, because it sounds like you both had this conversation and it wasn't a reciprocal like in that way. And it sounds like you maintained a friendship until this new person came along.
Yeah.
And this is so hard because usually when we go on a date with someone and then they reject us, we never have to see them again.
Yeah.
They can date whoever they want after and it doesn't matter because it's not in front of our face. So I love that you did take a back seat and told him like you have to like stop talking. This person also mentioned that they were like texting a lot too. So it sounds like they did have quite a friendship, but it is hard when one person has feelings and the other doesn't. So I think first of all, like it's good that you recognize that like, I don't want to be in this situation. I don't want to be like out with a group of friends, see him with another girl, at least right now. I think over time does tend to heal some of this stuff and you can maybe start to see that you just aren't the right fit. So maybe it's taking this time apart and looking at like, what is it that doesn't make us actually compatible? Because at the end of the day, you're not because he didn't want that. So taking him off that pedestal and like actually looking at like why we're better off as friends, that could help you get back to that point faster than if you continue to dwell on him. Again, easier said than done, but taking that time as much as you need. I'd love to give you like a hard, fast number, but unfortunately, like that's just not really how it works. Like it's going to depend on how fast you can move over this and like see him as a friend again. Or maybe it won't be that way.
Right. Honestly, maybe you'll never see him again. Maybe you won't have a friendship with him again. Sometimes with these friendship crushes, you realize you only hang out with them because you have a crush on them.
Right.
Maybe there wasn't much of a friendship to begin with. And I would also say you want to be with someone who chooses you. So by virtue of that statement, you're are already barking at the wrong tree because he did not choose you. If you do think there is something salvageable about this friendship, I think deep and hard about this. Is there a true friendship here? Is it a deep friendship? Is it a friendship that you can't afford to lose? Then I do understand the no contact period, which then just means this is on you. I mean, he is going to keep living his life. He doesn't need to adjust any behaviors. It's really on you. Can you accept the fact that he's going to be dating people and you're going to be witnessing that? That time period is absolutely 100% on you. Only you know the answer. But if you find that this friendship wasn't that deep to begin with, and you're kind of like, maybe I was really hanging out with him because I had a crush on him, then maybe it's worth exploring like phasing out this friendship.
Yeah. Again, it's hard for us to give you like a hard, fast time rule, but I know you're looking for one, so I'm going to give you something.
Okay.
So my take is, what if you just take 30 days? Keep up this no contact. I know it's hard. It's kind of like similar to no contact with an ex. There's something that comes back and you're like,
yeah,
I want to text them so bad. But you do have to pull it back and say, is there someone else I can text this to instead? Or jot it down in a notebook. Something that kind of distracts that train of thought of like wanting to immediately text that person. In this 30 days, don't just ignore the situation, but really get to the root of what we've been talking about of, what is it about this friendship? And then you'll be able to see like, was I just drawn to them because I actually had a crush on them? Or is it actually right that maybe we are better as friends and not? So you can kind of get that clarity in this time frame, which of those camps you fall into. And I think after that, it'll become a lot more clear what the next action is, whether you can go back to being friends or you're going to find new people. I mean, the reality is like, I hate saying this. I like, in theory, the premise of girls and guys being friends, hetero in this case. I feel like I've definitely gone through guy friends a lot more than girlfriends. Like I've had the same girlfriends for a long, long time where guys kind of cycled in and out. And it wasn't always because like someone had a crush on someone, but maybe someone did in the group. There was like something lingering.
Yeah.
And it was because the friendship wasn't super strong to begin with. So yeah, like look at what it is and what makes sense for you and this person.
30 days makes perfect sense to me because then that is a concrete number you can be very disciplined around. Also, make sure he's aware of that. It's not a one-sided thing. Like,
sounds like she did tell him, which is good.
Well, make sure he's aware of the 30-day
very specific,
no contact period. Right. It's very specific because why I say that is because if he were to text you within the 30 days, it means that he doesn't respect your boundaries, which in turn kind of means he doesn't respect your friendship. He's probably like, oh, she didn't really mean the 30 days, or she doesn't really have boundaries. It's fine if I just text her about this random meme, whatever it may be. So I think that's also another way to look at your friendship. And the 30 days is also important for you to think this is not a time for you to give him a chance to miss you. This is such a mistake so many of us make. We're like, oh, it's no contact. So that he'll realize he's really secretly in love with me and that he's going to text me and tell me I'm the love of his life. Get that out of your mind because that only happens in rom-coms. It does not happen in real life. The 30 days is purely for you to not have contact with him so you can think more clearly about what you want out of this friendship.
Yeah, and you can look at your text messages. Are you sending memes about nothing, or are you having deep conversations? Like that will also give you intel, like were you like flirting or were you having like real, friendship talks? I do want to go in a little more. What do you do when your friend groups are entwined? Because I think that makes it a little more complicated. But before we do, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
Confession, I have a secret about how I've been able to update my wardrobe with only high quality but affordable pieces these last few years. And now I have to let the secret out because they're sponsoring this episode. It's called Quince. Yeah, if you know, you know. Quince has premium European linen dresses, gorgeous washable silk tops, luxurious cashmere, and the best part, they're priced at 50 to 80% less than similar brands because they partner directly with top factories. So no more middleman, and that's why it costs less to you. I know Julie got herself some nice cashmere pieces, and at only $50 a sweater, come on. And I recently ventured into home goods. I got myself some premium cotton percale sheets, ultra cooling, and just feels like a 5-star hotel every night. And it's so perfect for the upcoming hot months. So get warm weather ready with Quince. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dateable to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DATEABLE.
Spring is in the air, and you know what adds an extra spring to my step? Our partners at Via Hemp. Need to chill out after a long day? There's a Via gummy for that. Dealing with anxiety or stress? There's a gummy for that too. Want to set the mood in the bedroom? There's a gummy for that called High Love. Via also carries a wide array of other gummies with and without THC, ranging from 0 to 100 milligrams. I've been struggling to stay focused lately, so I was excited to try out their Flow State gummies. These felt like a good bet to me too, because they were non-psychoactive and THC free. But they definitely delivered, boosting my daily energy and focus. So whether you're a 2 milligram or a 50 milligram user, you can shop through their website for any strength and effects. So head to Via Hemp and use the code DATEABLE to receive 15% off and one free sample of their award-winning gummies. 21 plus. That's VIIA hemp.com and use the code DATEABLE at checkout. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Take your passion and pleasure to a whole new level with High Love from Via Hemp. If you love Dateable, we have a podcast you have to check out. Seeing Other People was created to help you feel less alone and more empowered by your dating life. Hosted by your soon-to-be favorite internet big sis, Alana Dunn, an early Hinge employee, modern dater, and now a fiance, is here to guide you through whatever you're going through. And she covers the gamut of topics, from anti-dating rules, how she went from being an anxious dater to in a secure, healthy relationship, and navigating dating burnout. On Tuesdays, Alana brings on expert guests like dating coaches, matchmakers, psychologists, and more. And on Thursdays, Alana is joined by anonymous real-life daters who bear it all and open up about what they faced in their love lives and what they wish they knew going through it. Seeing Other People will help you change your dating mindset, develop healthy dating habits, and make you feel like you actually can find what you're looking for. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and tune in every Tuesday and Thursday. So I've definitely had this situation before where I had a friends with benefits. It was a little different. It wasn't a friend that friend zoned, but they still didn't want a real relationship. So there's a lot of similarities. And what was really hard with this is it was hard to untangle it because it wasn't just this person. It was an entire group of friends that was caught into this person. So if I said I want 30 days away from this person, that meant that I could be taking time away from other friends too. I had some ways and tactics that I went about doing it, but I'm curious, Yue, like your thoughts. How do you navigate this too if it's not just the one person, but entire group?
There are some rules around hanging out as a group. I think the 30-day no contact could be one-on-one.
Yeah.
But if I see you out and about with our friend circle, I'll still say hi. I'll be courteous to you. So maybe that's one carve out. You could be so hurt by seeing him with someone else that maybe it is good to just not hang out with this group at all, because they're going to be a constant reminder of him for you.
Yeah. I mean, so much has to do with your situation. Like, do you have other friend groups? How good of friends are you with these people? Like, it's very nuanced, but I think like for my situation, like I found like the girls in the group. I guess I was like, who are they? It was the girls in the group. And it did cause like a little divide. So I'm not sure if I'm like fully like, this is the tactic you should take. But at the end of the day, those were my closer friends for the most part. And there were some guys too that fell into that. And it did ultimately divide the group, but it did make it a little easier to like move on because I was really just there with the people I was closer with, and they weren't necessarily the people he was closer with. I wasn't necessarily like asking someone that was close with both of us to choose sides. Like I didn't go there, and I don't think that's fair. But I think in every friend group, there's going to be certain people that are closer to others. So maybe it's just like having different activities that aren't the whole group, or subsets of the group more.
Yeah, it's a great point because this will be very clear whether he's a hangout friend or a real close friend.
Yeah.
And when you start to see that divide in the group, you'll know who are the close friends that you can just spend more one-on-one time with. You don't need to hang out with everybody as a group. And then who are more the activity partners. And that's more of the casual group, maybe just go out and don't need to have any deep conversations. This will be very telling.
Yeah. And I mean, the reality, like, I hate saying this because it's not a good story, but that group kind of did blow up. Like, I'm not really friends with anyone in that group anymore. And this person isn't either. Just like the whole group kind of disintegrated. But I think at the end of the day, it also allowed me to find people that were actually more in line with the types of friends I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think net, it was a positive. And you know what? The reality is certain groups of friends, especially I think what it was with this group, it was very much a going out group. And a lot of that was centered around this person too. So I started to just outgrow the purely going out part, and they still wanted to do that. So there was like a little bit of a divide for that reason. But ultimately, like, you start to get more clear about like, what is it that I even want in a friendship?
Yeah.
And you can see that maybe this served a place of time, but it's not meant to be forever either.
Oh, that's so true. This will give you that clarity you're looking for too. Because maybe you'll realize, oh, I have a crush on him because I see him all the time.
Yeah.
Because he's always there, you know, or you realize, okay, I want a version of him in a partner, maybe not
Yeah.
the entire him. And I'm going to look for that in a partner. But on top of everything that I like about him, I'm going to choose someone who chooses me back. So imagine like how much more valuable that relationship will be. So use this 30 days to sit down and think, what is it that I like about him? Do I see partner potential in him, or is it just purely FaceTime? And then how can I translate that into my own love life?
Yeah. And we're not telling you like blow up all your friendships and your life, anything like that. But 30 days in the grand scheme of things, especially if your friends like really, you know, they are your real friends, they'll understand what you're going through too, and they won't take it personally if you're not at every group hang, etc. But you'll start to find like other interests too.
Yes.
And other things that, and maybe date other people, you know, go on dates. It could have got really comfortable with this person because you had the crush on them.
Yeah.
I think pushing you out of your like comfort zone here is actually going to be a positive. And, you know, best case scenario is you move on, you could be friends, and it's not a big deal at all. But if that doesn't happen, then maybe you just accept and appreciate for what it was in this moment of time.
Yes.
Like, I talk about that group of friends. Like, I still look back on that time fondly, even though those people aren't in my life anymore. It's not like it was a failed experience. It was just a blip of time that isn't where I am currently.
You got to really congratulate yourself on these moments of gaining that clarity, of growth. And one thing we didn't actually do is congratulate you for
Doing it.
telling your crush that you have a crush on him.
Wouldn't do
so
that.
many people, no, some people hide it, and then they build up that like resentment, and then it just gets really ugly. So thank goodness you told him how you felt, which means you were asking for answers.
Yeah.
You got the answers. And now you can take that attitude into your dating life. Like, don't sit in the dark about anything. Ask for the answers.
You know, I had a friend in college. I didn't come out and tell him. I did not have the guts to do it, but word got out to him through the grapevine. And it was awkward for like a couple days. And then we got over it. And like, honestly, I lost the feelings as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad though, there was something like liberating a little of just putting it out there. So maybe this will all blow over. And it will be for the best. And, you know, if it's not, the fact that you can look back in 10 years or whatever and be like, I put it out there. Like, there's no what ifs. That is something to be super proud about, even if it wasn't the response that you were looking for. And then taking this as a learning of what was it that drew you to this person. In the 30 days, I think it's why are we maybe better as friends, but also what qualities do I want in a partner that chooses me too? There was a reason you were drawn to this person, and using that as a data point is going to help in the future as well.
You're going to learn and grow so much from this. Thank you so much for this question. See, you asked for answers from us as well. So you're doing all the right things. And for anybody that's sitting in the dark about something you're going through, you can get some answers. We've talked to thousands of daters about what they're going through. We can give you all the data points and our own opinions about what may be happening. So send us your dating questions. You can email us hello@dateablepodcast.com. You can DM us on Instagram @Dateable Podcast is the handle, or you can leave us a rating and review in Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, and then in the body of your review, ask your question there. It's anonymous, so nobody will ever know, but we'll know because we're going to be answering it right away.
Or leave us a comment on YouTube because we are now there as a video podcast as well.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I feel like we need something more visually interesting like this cup. Okay.
Every episode, we will throw an Easter egg in, something random that you can only see visually.
Random.
So make sure to come over to YouTube if you're not there yet, or if you're a YouTuber and you want to also listen to us as you walk, as you do whatever, clean, you can do that on YouTube podcasts as well.
We're everywhere. With that, we're going to be everywhere next week as well. So we'll see you back here next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
The Dateable Podcast is part of the Frolic Media Network. Find more podcasts you'll love at frolic.media/podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram @Dateable Podcast and visit dateablepodcast.com for access to all the episodes and our premium programs. Also, make sure to subscribe today if you haven't already on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform so you are the first to get all the latest episodes. And most importantly, stay dateable.